stop the stink. I can't sell it if I can smell it. That's what we'll be discussing on today's video, so stay tuned and we'll get started right after this. Okay, hey everybody, I'm Kes Stadler, known as the Singing Realtor Associate Broker, and I'm also a certified probate relocation advisor and specialist. I do handle a lot of probate issues for my clients, so I can give you advice on that. I also help my clients that need to fix up their home and just sell it the standard way. So let's jump right into some of the things that we need to talk about. First things first, clean does not smell. A friend of mine who owns a cleaning service told me once that if it smells clean, usually they're masking something. So clean really doesn't have an odor. So keep that in mind. Okay, probably the biggest culprit of a smell is the smoke smell. We all know that aunt or uncle, maybe you smoke yourself in the home, and that's just not acceptable to try to sell a home. You take the pictures down and you see the orange glow all over the walls. It gets into everything. There is no way to get that smoke smell out of a home once it's in there. The only thing you can do is scrub the walls, scrub the draperies, clean the carpets. I mean, it has to be a deep, deep cleaning. Okay, to get rid of smoke smell in a home, there are 3 ways you can do it. The first way is probably the easiest in some aspects. It's a degreaser. So you have to go around and wipe everything down, degrease the entire home inside and out. A better thing to do is start smoking outside on a back porch, front porch, set up a gazebo. That'll help tremendously, and especially once you clean the house, never smoke in the home again. A second option to get rid of smoke smell is to hire a restoration team. They do a great job, they can knock out the smell, they give you a warranty, but they're very, very pricey. So if you're dealing with a probate situation and family heirs and there's not a lot of money, that may not be an option. If you're looking just to sell the home and you've got plenty of equity, then it might be a thing to do. But keep in mind, you need to shop around, get some references. Feel free to reach out to me if you're in the Atlanta area, and I'll give you some companies that you can use and talk to, but make sure you get it in writing. Okay, and the third thing you need to do, and another way to clean the home, is clean it and then get some kind of kills paint, something like that. Paint everything. You really need to do it right. Take the furnace apart, have a company come out and clean the blower, clean the ductwork, and then have the carpet professionally cleaned with a smoke and enzyme type substance so the smoke smell doesn't come back. Sometimes you clean the carpet, if they don't do it right, the smoke smell gets worse. The minute you put liquid or chemicals on the carpet, it just makes it worse. So be careful if you're going that route. Okay, another big one that everybody talks about, and this happens, I had it happen recently with a client. Their dad had passed away and he loved his cats, but he didn't have the ability to keep the litter box clean, so the cats and a small dog decided to urinate and use the whole house as a litter box. And obviously once he passed, we went in later and the house had been sitting up. It was not a pleasant smell at all. So just giving you a little bit of advice, if you have animals that are older, train them where to pee and poop, for lack of a better term, because if you can train them, then they won't go back to that spot. If you don't clean it right, the enzymes will draw them in and it'll just make it worse. So that's the first thing. Try to train your pets to go where they need to go. Okay, when it comes to pet urine, if you have carpet and it's saturated in the carpet and the pad, many cases you're going to have to rip that carpet and that padding out. If it's a probate sale, you may decide to sell it as is and you let the buyer do that. But be careful, because if it's got a really bad smell, especially a vacant home, buyers aren't going to want it, or if they make an offer, it's going to be for considerably less, because a $5,000 carpet job to a buyer might be $2,000 to a seller. So buyers always think it's a lot worse than it is as far as cost. So if you can alleviate that smell to begin with, you're doing well. When it comes to concrete, if you need to, pull everything up, and then you can buy a product at Home Depot, Lowe's, online that will block that smell. It'll lock it into the concrete and then you put your pad back down. In some cases, urine can cause that pad to literally melt and stick to the concrete, so you're gonna have to really get in there and scrape it. So hire a professional to help you with that. I can give you some ideas if you need it. Just make a comment below. All right, when it comes to pet odors, I'm a pet owner myself, have lots of dogs and cats, and I don't like odors in my home. So even if you say, well, I don't mind dog and cats, I love them, that's fine, but others may not, and even pet owners don't really want to live with a house that smells bad. So if it's an estate sale, you need to think about that. If you're just selling your home just the old-fashioned way with a realtor as well, then keep that in mind. If you smell it, I can't sell it. So that's just something you got to think about. One other thing to keep in mind with the floor, you need to look at the subfloor. If you have carpet over OSB or plywood, that urine can soak into the floor. Then you have to get an enzyme killer that will knock out that smell, and then seal the floors once you do that. Don't use bleach, and never ever combine bleach and ammonia. That can be dangerous. I know you probably know that already, but just a friendly reminder, never combine bleach and ammonia. Worst thing you can do, and ammonia, to be honest, will draw the pets back in. So stay clear of ammonia altogether. Okay, we talked about the flooring. Another thing you can do is sanitize the floors. They sell over the counter, we call it, Home Depot products. I'll put a description, and you see the picture here of something that you can use, but hire and get the right product. Don't try to do it yourself. Buy a product that's meant to do this and has the enzyme killers in it. Okay, another thing you can do is a HEPA filter and do what we call scrub the air. Run that will take care of the problem. You can either buy one, you can rent one. There are companies that'll do it for you. Insurance companies that handle floods will handle that as well. So maybe look at a HEPA filter. You can also do some air fresheners in the home. But if the smell is really bad, you need to get to the source, otherwise it's gonna come back. So maybe after you completely sanitize, you take care of the problem, maybe air the house out for a day or two, then put some fresheners in it, and you should be good to go. Whether you're selling it or one of the family members wants to buy it out from the estate, or you just want to even keep it as a rental. But you gotta have the house smelling clean. That's priority number one. Okay, and as we discussed earlier on, stop the cause. So get your animals, if they're still living with you, to know where to go and where not to go. And this relates back to the enzymes and the smells, and I'll keep harping on it, but pet odors, stop that cause, and then you should be good to go. Don't mask it, because it will come back. Okay, a couple other things that can cause a home, especially a vacant home, to smell could be a dishwasher that's been left closed up with dirty dishes or old water in it. So check that when you're at the home. Also a refrigerator. If by chance the house has no power, in many estate sales, when we get into probate, there's no power in the home. So if the fridge had any food items, it could be a big problem. And even if it doesn't have food items, if it's turned off and left closed, you're gonna have a mold mildew problem in there that's gonna make the house smell. One thing I noticed, I showed a home a few years ago, and I've seen this quite often. People will leave food debris in the disposal. And that will start permeating up through the disposal, through the kitchen, and you'll walk around trying to figure it out, and eventually you notice where it's coming from. One of the secrets and tricks that I've learned, and you probably know this, is put some lemons or oranges down the disposal. If it's running, add the water and let it run. It's a cheap way to do it. Make yourself an iced tea and use those lemons. You can also buy products, you can see a description here, that will do it for you. There's little pods and things like that, but you don't have to spend the money if you don't want to. So look at the disposal. Something else you can do to help stop the smell is change the filters in your furnace. And I recommend this as a realtor when you're going to sell your home. Before it gets to inspection, change the filters, because an inspector is going to see if that filter is dirty or clogged and realize that you haven't been performing the maintenance. So switch out those filters. You can do it yourself or hire an HVAC company to come do it for you. All right, one of the last things, which you would think is just normal, but another thing you need to think about on smells is a deep cleaning, especially in the bathrooms. If you have boys, especially young boys, they don't always know what they're doing when it comes to restrooms. I'll leave it at that. And so cleaning the toilet, getting rid of any urine that may be anywhere around the toilet on the floor will definitely help. When a home sits up, especially in summer and in Georgia, that house may be 100 degrees inside. When you walk in, that odor will knock you out. I've had buyers walk in and immediately leave. One other thing to consider is if you have a strong odor of pets in your carpet, people are going to think you have a flea problem, whether the home is occupied or vacant. So that's something I've heard from my buyers in the past. So with an estate sale, with probate, you need to get the fleas eradicated right away. They've got those foggers you can use, but that'll help to create a better feel when people walk in, to not worry about fleas jumping on them, and they'll actually want to look at the house. All right, well, I hope you found this to be informative. Like I said, I can't sell it if I can smell it and stop the stink. So keep that in mind. Feel free to reach out to me, make a comment on something that you've known that works, either just an over-the-counter type product, or you came up with your own solution to get rid of one of these smells, or something else that I may have missed. But thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to check out our next video where we'll have some good information. And please like and subscribe my channel. And if you know someone that needs to sell a home for a loved one or family member, I am a certified probate real estate advisor and a specialist. My team is here to help you. I'm also a real estate broker, traditional buyers and sellers, and I'm known as the Singing Realtor. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon, and take care.